What up, YouTube? Team Movies here, and happy Pride Month. Since it is Pride Month, since I've been doing my reviews for past LGBTQ films, here's my review for the 2007 comedy I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry first premiered back on July 20th, 2007, and starred the likes of Adam Sandler and Kevin James. And in this film, they actually play like these two firefighters. Adam Sandler plays Chuck Levine, while Kevin James plays Larry Valentine, who end up pretty much getting into like an injury and all. And so like Larry, who's like a widower, learns that he cannot really name his children as benefactors on his life insurance policy that he needs. And so he ends up pretty much asking his best friend Chuck see if they could pretend to be married and of course they gotta try to find a way to not get in trouble, because if they get caught about lying about being married, they could go to jail. And so of course lots of people loads of other folks are become suspicious of their other relationship and all. I mean, Kevin James and Adam Sandler, those two really play off each other really well in this movie. You also had Jessica Biel, who plays like Sandler's and James's lawyer in this movie. Jessica Biel was really hilarious in this film. You also had loads of other interesting members, like you had Dan Aykroyd, who plays the like their captain in this, and which is really funny because, believe it or not, the fire station that's in this movie is actually the same fire station from Ghostbusters. Yeah, there's a little tip for you there. So I always found that to be pretty fun that they got Dan Aykroyd to play a captain in a movie that features that includes the fire station from Ghostbusters, and of course Dan Aykroyd was in Ghostbusters, so I always found that to be fun. You also had Ving Rhames, Nick Swardson, Steve Buscemi, Pierre Dante, Nicholas Turturro, Rachel Dratch was also in this. You also had some other, like you also had the late Mary Pat Gleason was also in this movie. Lance Bass even had a cameo. You had Dave Matthews, who had a cameo in this. You even had Rob Schneider, who I know this movie got a lot of controversy because Rob Schneider, playing like this Chinese priest. Yeah, that guy. I admit that would probably want to go watch today. But that aside, I think this movie is really hilarious. It's definitely a fun one. I mean, come on, you got David Spade playing a transvestite groupie. Come on, what more can you ask for there? You even got a scene where Nick Swardson and Ving Rhames gets married. I remember watching this movie. At first I was like, that's definitely something I never would expect to happen. It also had a good soundtrack too. Like you had Cyndi Lauper's "Girl Who Just Want to Have Fun" feature in this. You also had the iconic George Michael song "Freedom." I mean, a lot of people probably find this a little offensive because Adam Sandler and Kevin James are playing straight guys pretend to be married. So I guess I can see why people find that offensive. But it's actually not as bad as most people may actually. I mean, I really got a kick out of it. Definitely a really fun time. I remember watching this thing on TV one time. I really got a kick out of it. So I mean, it's also directed by Dennis Dugan, who's directed loads of other Adam Sandler movies, such as Big Daddy, the Grown Ups movies, and all. So yeah, I thought Dennis Dugan did a decent enough job with this, and shows also, and I believe this was actually the first time Adam Sandler and Kevin James actually teamed up for a movie. Believe it or not. Like they had appearances together, like Sandler appeared in Kings and Queens. Kevin James had a little cameo in 51st Dates. But this was actually the first movie where those two actually teamed up together, and they really played off each other well. Then of course they both ended up appearing both the Grown Ups movies and Hotel Transylvania, and those two just play off each other perfectly. I mean, yeah, I really love these two together. So if you have not really seen I Now Pronounce It Chuck and Larry, I believe you can find it on Netflix. You can also find it on Fandango Now, Vudu, Prime Video, Apple TV. Give it a go. It's a pretty fun one. Anyway, let me leave you guys. Have you ever seen the Adam Sandler and Kevin James film I Now Pronounce it Chuck Larry? If so, what's over? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? What are some of your favorite moments? Some of your favorite scenes? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Simba sign off.